Hey, book reader friends, this is Christy with Tatatago Reads, and I'm here with another video. I know that's shocking, but that's what we're here for. So I want to talk to you today about a wrap up from the month of February. It was not that impressive of a month. If you watched my last video, you know why. But to kind of update and bring everyone to the same page, it was just a bad reading month for me. I was in a reading rut and I just could not dig out of it. But I did finish a book that I do want to mention, and that is The Book of Falling Leaves. It came out March 17th. It is a wonderful Japanese themed book. And on the author's page, A.S. Tamaki, he says, it has been reviewed as Shogun meets Game of Thrones, Japanese myth-inspired epic fantasy. One thing I do want to make a note that even on the author's page, it states it says this is a retelling of a samurai saga. This is dealing with Japanese myth, and I found it very fascinating, very intriguing, very refreshing. The people are where I found this book won the most, the characters. My husband loved the world building. And once I sat back and pulled back a little bit, I said, yeah, I can see that. So the world building, I will also have to say that I gave it a 4-star. It does open up in a spot, and I'm not ruining this for anyone, but a spot where they describe the roofs of these Japanese structures. And I thought the description they chose in the book was truly intriguing and it gripped me, honestly. I absolutely was in love with the book immediately. The author lives in LA. I don't know much of what at this point has inspired him to write a Japanese themed book. I'm looking forward to finding some interviews on him hopefully soon now that the book is actually officially released. It is an Orbit book. It's 464 pages, so it's really not a long read. What happened for the month of February for me with this book and a couple others is that I took too long to read them and I spaced it out way too long. And so I found myself accidentally in a rut. And that's how I tend to get in a rut, is that I take an epic fantasy and I spread it too long. I need to finish that book right away. 464 pages really isn't that bad. So you have two main characters, Rui and Sin, and they are trying to correct the mistakes of their ancestors, their parents, the things that they had done to wrong other families. And now they are the ones paying for this. And it's truly heartbreaking to see them carry the weight of what their family has done and to watch them have to struggle with their life decisions of where do they belong? Who do they honor? Do they honor the family that came before them and that are now passed? Or do they honor the family that took them in when their families were killed? So it is truly gut wrenching at times. It is inspiring at times, but Rui specifically is a character that I struggled with truly. She is, while I can relate to her having a hard time finding her space in the world, she is difficult in the sense of when people are trying to help her, she almost overcorrects, I guess you can say, and it just makes her kind of annoying. And I didn't love her character right on up until about the last 10% of the book. Her character does make the book so worth it. The ending makes the whole book so worth it. So even if you don't really find a character that you connect with, absolutely keep reading. There is some beautiful imagery here. There is some beautiful love going on in the book. There is a theme throughout of family supporting each other and standing for what they believe in, no matter the cost. And that was beautiful to me. I truly did enjoy this book. The ending, the book was getting ready to be a 4-star rating for me, but the ending made it a 4.5 completely. I did have an arc of this thanks to NetGalley and Orbit Books and A.S. Tamaki, the author. Show you that again. But thanks to them, I was able to read an arc of it. So I can't quote anything from it yet because I haven't had a chance to compare those quotes to what is actually in the physical printed book now. And I will eventually release some of those favorite quotes. This book had some inspiring moments that just hit home and made you pause and made you think. And I was literally just highlighting some of the one-liners, some of the conversations that meant something to me. And I could probably print a book of just those quotes. I thoroughly recommend the book. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on, though, to a different topic. What am I currently reading? Highly recommend The Book of Falling Leaves. The next book I am now currently reading, It's Not Her. This has been a place that I have said that I come back to, a suspense, thriller, edge of your seat. This is what I come back to when I hit a reading rut. And you'll see in my reading stack for this month that there's a theme, a suspense theme, because it's just fun. I don't have the bookmark in the right place because I forgot that I was marking my spot and I moved my bookmark yesterday, not thinking. But luckily, I'm reading it both on Kindle and I'm listening to it on Libby. Excuse me, I'm listening to this one on Spotify because I'm paying for the monthly and you get 1 hour. Technically, you get 15 hours of book listen a month. And I that's been kind of helpful to me because a book like this, that's maybe less than 10 hours, it hits that spot perfectly. And you don't have to pay for any extra time on Spotify. But this is a twisted thriller about two families in a chilling lake resort crime from the author of A Local Woman Missing. So this one is a twisty thriller about two families and a chilling lake resort crime. I love it. It is interesting. I've walked into a spot of the book where you are not sure exactly what's going on. There is some tension between the kids and the parents to teen stuff, you know. If you are parents of teens, you do understand what I'm saying. And if you are a teen with parents, you understand what I mean. That, you know, family trips can be a little troublesome. And then there is things said that are harmful, and then it leaves one child at risk of being accused of murder. So I cannot help but to say I recommend this one so far. I am not done with it. I will do a final review. I'm loving it. It's just truly just I'm engrossed in just the thriller suspense of what's going to happen next. I'll let you know. Okay, so the next book that I am reading is The Man Know and Believe. I have to keep looking at this one because naturally your mouth wants to go to a different title because this doesn't flow well for me. The Man That Know and Believed. It just doesn't flow. But this is a true crime story. It is an untold story of Georgia church murders. This is dealing with a black couple, pastor and his wife, that are at a church meeting. A crime happens where they are murdered and the wrong person went to prison. So we are trying to get that person off and out of prison and find the real killer. I'm looking forward to it. I do think it's very engrossing. My issue with the writing is that it doesn't flow similar to the title, to be honest with you. So I am struggling. And what happens is I'm falling asleep at night reading it on my Kindle. So now I'm listening to it through the day and it is easier. It is not a long book. This is less than 300 pages. So truthfully, I should already be done. But the writing style really did throw me for a loop. I don't know where I'm going to rate this, and I don't know if I'm going to suggest it yet. I don't find that these are very true crime or very easy to rate because of the fact that you can really only rate it on the writing style. And you can't really write it on the information given because you don't get to be creative. But I will let you know later at a later date if I recommend this one. All right. So on to The Howling Dark. I am listening to this one. It is a big book, no joke. I think this one is like 600 and some pages, 656-ish plus. And it is just dealing with Hayden's story still, political intrigue, kind of resisting the life that he was born into, but lands directly smack into that world, whether he wanted it or not. Again, you kind of are trying to find your place in the world, and sometimes the world just tells you where you belong, and he's ended up there. He has friends along the way, people that he has met, people that have mattered to him, people that have died. And about halfway through, I can't say what rating I'm going to give on this yet. I already probably have an idea, but I can say that the series so far has been fantastic and that I highly recommend the series. It is sci-fi. I don't regret starting this series. It's a 7-book series that I am very excited to see through over the next several months. All right. As I said before, book 3, I think this is book 3 or book 4, actually. Okay, so as I said, there is a theme. This is book 4, Gallows Hills. Truthfully, I just wanted to actually read something by Darcy Coates, and I was excited to pick this one up because I've had I've had this copy for a long time and didn't put 2 and 2 together. And I'm really excited to get it off my shelf because I've got so many books on my TBR. I am loving the suspense of it because it's a slow moving book so far. The parents have passed. She has now been left the home and the winery that she does not remember from when she was 8 years old. She has no idea really who these people are in this town. She has no memory of her parents. I'm in a scene right now. This isn't a spoiler, but in a scene now where her parents have torn her out of photographs. And she's kind of like, or at least she thinks so. She's looking at the photographs right now and she's like looking for herself in these photos. And she's finding like little curly hairs kind of on her mom's skirt or her little arm reaching out for her mom. And I was like, oh my God, it's so heartbreaking from 8 years old. And I don't know why she doesn't remember them. I don't know why she wasn't with them. Right now, she's being walked through the home and explained that the winery is also hers to take care of, and that the gentleman that is walking her through, he is the one that found her parents. So I am just kind of confused. And I don't want to say I don't know what's going on, but this one is definitely one that will show you as you go. You will not walk in already knowing everything. And I'm actually enjoying that because some books you kind of already know, especially suspense and thrillers. And this book is really like, I want to know why she doesn't remember her childhood or anything prior to being 8 years old, why she didn't live with her parents. And I'm just baffled, but I'm very excited about that one. All right. So the book that's coming up, we're going to shift gears again. Okay, so this brings us to the last segment of this video, and that is what is on my TBR next. There is only one book on my TBR, and I am very excited about it. I, at first, due to other reviews, wasn't sure if this book was for me. I had read somewhere along the way something about it that just didn't click for me. And the more I got looking at the synopsis, the more I got looking at the cover, I think I'm going to go ahead and read this one. I ordered it today. It came out March 3rd. The series is actually kind of what has me. The title of the series, The Age of Beasts. I think that could be fun. A brilliant con artist and a secretive librarian collide. In a New York Times bestselling author, Kaylin Josephson's enchanting adult fantasy debut, packed with twists, tricks, slow burn romantic tension, and magical creatures. I am very intrigued. Again, this is The Librarian of Amorlin. I'll link that in the description below. So if you are also interested and you hadn't heard of this one yet, or maybe you're on the fence too, that you can go ahead and get it ordered. But that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is a wrap up of just a couple things I've read, and I am looking forward to the rest of this month reading. But happy reading, you all. Have a great day. Bye.